Hey, everybody. Welcome to 7 Minute Health Chat with Robin and Kim. And guess what we're talking about today?
Everyone's favorite four-letter word.
Oh, yeah. Diets are temporary. And Kim and I believe this wholeheartedly. And we know this because we have experienced it. We've been around the block, haven't we, Kim?
Yeah, and it was funny because we were talking about before we got on, like we talked about what our very first diets ever, when diets came on our radar and what we did. And it's pretty scary looking back, and
It
it's
is scary. It
cringeworthy.
is scary. And what prompted this was I read an article recently written by a professional stating diets work. And I read this article and I'm like, are you kidding me? They don't work. Yes, guess what? They work for a certain amount of time, but they're not sustainable. So, yes, if you want a yo-yo diet like I have in the past, yes, they work. Right, right. So let's talk about this. So let's let everybody know, because I want to come from a really honest place, from the both of us. I mean, I'm 60 years old, been in the fitness industry since I was 22. Like Kim said, when was your first diet? Mine was after college, because I had that freshman 15. And so my first, it was like the Robin diet. And the Robin diet consisted of coffee for breakfast. For lunch, I would have a hard boiled egg and maybe bouillon cube in a cup. And for dinner, I ate popcorn. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So, I mean, ridiculous. And at that time, I mean, I was a tiny person, didn't even need to go on a diet. But of course, it was the 80s. And so that was the trend. Diets are all about being thin and blah, blah, blah. So that's my first story. What about you, Kim?
Oh, this is embarrassing.
I
So
know, right?
I remember, and I must have been ninth grade, 10th grade in high school, and maybe 10th or 11th. Anyway, I remember going into the drugstore buying these chocolate they were like candies called AIDS. I don't know if anybody remembers those, AYDS. And they were kind of gross tasting, but I remember like, well, these are supposed to help you lose weight and stuff. I remember like, well, I'll eat a few of those. It was like, clearly they didn't pick the right name, first of all.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
anyway, but that was such a scam.
And then the list goes on and on. Kim and I were talking about Slim Fast. Kim and I were talking about, like, I did this like liquid lose 10 days or 10 pounds in 10 days. Cabbage soup diet.
Yeah. Oh, I remember later in high school going on, before I went to Florida with girlfriends, like I stopped eating from Monday to Friday. I just didn't eat anything.
Oh
I
my
drank a little bit, probably not enough. I dropped weight, and felt great on the trip, but it was like dumb. It was the stupidest thing ever. And
Right.
it came back, once I
So
started.
we are coming from, in our experience, we have been there and we've done it, right? And we know now you don't do that. And we know what to do the right way. But let me give you one statistic before we talk about the right way. And I got to put my glasses on here. Approximately 45 million Americans go on a diet each year. And most diets, regardless of which one, lead to weight loss and lower blood pressure. But these desired effects largely disappear after a year. And I can tell you, they largely disappear before a year, typically, right?
Yeah.
So the question is from everyone, okay, you two, you've told us about diets don't work. So what does work? You want to start, Kim?
So being mindful, first of all, of what you're eating, and not just like throwing anything in your mouth. And I think, the secret or the key is to focus on whole foods, like real whole foods, not the processed foods.
So tell
So
them a couple examples.
yeah, so like like an avocado, like produce. I know I always go to avocado first because I love it.
She
But
likes her healthy fats.
yeah, those are healthy fats and fiber. But anything that comes from the ground, you know, produce or tree from an apple or whatever, an apple from a tree. But things that like and whole foods, and that can be, and that's meats as well, quality meats, eggs. And there are a lot of things that you can, I mean, we got a whole array of things to choose from, but eating mindfully, and think about these as what they're fueling your body about, you know, the bag of potato chips is not going to fuel your body because it was a potato at one point, but now it's been treated with, it's got seed oils in it that aren't great. It's got some other, it's been through a lot of processes, and it's like not, all the nutrition has been stripped of it basically. So,
And I love that you said that, because fueling the body like with chips. So this is another thing that it annoys me now because I know better. Calories in versus calories out. This just doesn't work, because guess what, guys? You can get the same amount of calories from eating 10 bags of chips versus eating a well-rounded macronutrient nutrition plan. And I hate to even call it a diet, but like having your correct proteins, your correct carbohydrates, you know, with good foods.
well, I can break it down even further than that, Robin, like, and say take half an avocado, that's 160 calories.
Right.
Take a serving of potato chips that are 160 calories. Both of those are going to feed your body totally differently, and you're going to feel differently after whichever one you eat. So
Exactly.
that's a great example I'd love to use, because it really like showcases what food does to you. It doesn't matter what calories, it's the quality. It's the
Right.
quality of calories that make a
And
difference.
you're not fueling, like Kim said, and I just read this book. It's called Next Level, and it's about women in perimenopause and postmenopause and how we get to fuel our body. And she said a part, and I told Kim, when I read it, I was like, I wrote this part. This is me, because she said, if you're not eating enough, your body goes into starvation mode and you start storing fat. And that's exactly what I was doing up until 3 or 4 years ago, when I finally learned the correct way with, you know, to eat my macronutrients and to fuel my body. And I started, like, I was eating so much food,
Mhm.
but I was losing weight, like boom, boom, boom. Every day I'd come out and go, oh my gosh, I lost 2 more pounds. And
I
I
know.
was eating, but it was because I was fueling and I wasn't storing the fat. My body was using the fat efficiently and the proteins efficiently. So it's all a science.
And it's
And
not,
Kim and I know how to do it. So let us know if you're interested in just
yeah.
stop dieting and
But
starving yourselves.
and I think the other part of like a diet is deprivation, and say, I can't have this, I can't have that. This is
Right.
good food, that's bad food. I say reframe it to say, how will this serve my body? You
Yeah.
know, and because if you start to make that mindset shift, it's a mindset shift, truly, because we are bombarded with fast food, with processed food, with
Oh gosh, yeah.
convenience foods. We're just so bombarded by this food culture
Yeah.
that eating processed food has become the norm, and eating healthy food has become like out there, the outlier, which
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So you have to be really aware of your, I mean, and I'm 80/20, because look, I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to eat like a whole food, like every single minute of every single day. There will be times where I'm going to find a processed food. And Kim and I have talked about like the lesser evil popcorn. You know, it's a processed food, it's packaged, but if you look at the ingredients, they're clean ingredients. So
right.
that's really important too, to read those labels if you are going to partake in that 80/20, you know. And
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you're going to go off the rails. Listen,
yeah,
I've gone off the rails a couple times myself. You know, I'm feeling like I'm getting back at it after my hip surgery, and kind of wallowed in little self-pity there for a while, and maybe ate some things that I shouldn't have, and you know, did some things that I shouldn't have, but you know, whatever. I could should myself to death, but you just move on, and you know what to do, and you do it.
right. And I think just being mindful and like listening to your body's signals. Are you really hungry? Are you eating just because? And if it's, here's another little trick I do: out of sight, out of mind. So set yourself up for success by not having the foods that are not going to serve you front and center. Either get rid of them, hide them, and then have like a bowl of fruit out, on the counter. Because, my kids when they were home, they would grab for the fruit because it was out there.
Right.
But they saw it, and so anyway, that's one thing you can do, like design your world so that it's easier to eat healthy,
Right.
basically. Yeah.
And then, get your family on board and surround yourself with people who feel the same way, right? Not people who say, let's just go eat at, the Arches. So, or somewhere like that. So, all right. I don't want to badmouth anything, but anyway, we want to give what we've experienced and now we're not experiencing, and we want to help other people.
Right. It's not about counting calories, that's for sure. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Have
Well,
a
thanks,
great
Robin.
Wednesday.
have a good Wellness Wednesday, everybody.
See you later. Bye-bye.